evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight, as our guests on the show to catch us up on what's going on with the band, drummer Chris Pezzano of Wormreich and guitarists Chris White and Scully. Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Top of the evening to you, as I said before, Jet, man. It's awesome to be here. Metal Messiah fucking rules. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so first of all, for people that might not know a lot about the band, just tell us a little history about the band.
Well, I'll probably let Profana here talk first, because he's been in the band the longest out of the three people on the call.
There you go.
You want to go back to the history of the band?
Yes.
I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. Chris Pyle and Ian McKinney were the actual founding members of Wormreich, which had actually started in 2009. They had one album, which would be considered, I guess, the demo too. He did them 666, and then I joined late 2012, going into 2013. And have been in, ever since. We recorded Worm Cult. Then after that, of course now, which is our newest album, Death and Devoy.
You're leaving out a big part of Wormreich history that most people will unfortunately be familiar with, which was the band accident where we actually lost Ian McKinney. And what was the other guy's last name? Paul Truesdale. Nick. Paul Truesdale, a.k.a. Vita, and Nicholas Kosoma from Chaotica. And, that's, we miss those guys every day, but they want us to go on, and that's what we're doing. We put a lot into this. I joined the band in 2014. I met Profana here at Watain in Atlanta, and he was pretty much had his guts hanging out doing the Chamber of Horrors. And we've been friends ever since. So I was a fan of the Wormreich band before I even come into the picture. And I joined the band officially in 2016 on guitar. I had done session work with the band in 2013 playing keyboard, but Profana here, Chris Pezzano, as he was addressed in the show, he and I have been playing together for almost 19 years.
Wow.
We played in a band called What's Named Up. A lot of, I guess our listeners should be familiar with our project. We had several albums we did. We did Cathedrals of Evil, Church of Death Silence, and Black Faith Inquisition together. And,
a journey.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. So, it's all full circle now. I've come back in. I actually joined the band after Ian passed away. I guess I kind of replaced him. Unfortunately, things worked out that way. But Ian and I have worked together before. Like I said, in 2013, I got the opportunity to play with him. So that was great.
So,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, man, not school with Ian McKinney, man, he was an awesome dude. I mean, he loved the music. He loved the artists, that Wormreich has shared the stage with. And, it's very much missed, but we don't live forever, right?
Nobody does, that's true. And talking about all, getting back to, after the accident happened and getting back to health and writing this album, how would you say the state of the band is now for each of you?
Ooh, that's a bunch of blood, sweat, and tears, man, in this band. I think everybody can, all my mates, they can relate to that. But, we started recording this album. I think it was, if my dates are right, it was April 16th. Or was it the 15th?
the reason we decided to make this recording start on that date was that was the day of the wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So, the 1 year or 2 year anniversary of the accident.
It was, this year, more.
Yeah, this year was full, but we started actually recording the album on the 2 year anniversary of the accident.
Right.
Yeah, so the entire album was a healing process for everyone. The writing of the album was kind of more or less to let everybody know that we've reassembled, the Wormreich, and we're going to continue on despite the tragedy.
I mean, yeah, it was an accident. There's nobody really at fault. We were just pushing it really hard on that tour, and accident happened.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, back to this album. Yes, we recorded this with Paul Golden. He's in a band here in Atlanta called Control the Devastator, and he is now playing guitar. He stepped into my spot because I was getting to the point where, sometimes, like Newton said, sometimes you have to leave something behind to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a great opportunity. Corvinus, as he goes by, is a fantastic player in Ripper, and other guys asked me to step in and do vocals now, so my trial at that was at the FTA, man, which was an awesome weekend, all the bands.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'm stepped in and doing vocals for these guys, so we moved things around some.
I was going to say, you were confusing me. Not that it takes much to do that. So how did that go for you now, doing the vocals now? Was it weird for you?
Well, no. He's taking a break right now, Volk, until I just stepped in, to help my mates out until, he finds what he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how that all unfolded, just to clarify things, with Scully recorded the guitar, the rhythm guitar, along with myself. We both recorded the guitars on the album, and Volk was still doing vocals with us. He wrote all the lyrical concepts and did vocal. Volk is Chris Pezzano is his real name, which was we already mentioned that he was one of the founders of the band. And he had to kind of step down for personal reasons. And Scully was having difficulty executing the guitar parts because of the extent of his injuries from the accident. He was able to record the album, but performing the songs live was a little difficult. So we came up with the idea that we would just have him do vocals. And the studio engineer from Crow Altar Studios, Paul Golden, that he mentioned.
Oh, cool, yeah.
He was a great guitar.
I wish he could be here with us tonight, but he's bartending. On New Year's Eve, he's out making money.
But he stepped in and he now plays live guitar, and Scully does live vocals. So we kept pretty much the family the same.
Okay, all right, got it now. Okay, so tell us a little bit about this album then, what it's about, what the music is about, if you did anything different this time around, what you guys were going for, all that kind of thing.
Well, I feel like, the album is called Death in the Void, and it's kind of more or less about defying death. We've come back from the void, and we've come back with a vengeance with what we feel is a very powerful album and very powerful emotional music that we've put together after such a terrible experience. Unfortunately, we can't really go deep into the lyrical concepts because, like I said, Chris Pezzano or Volk, as many people knew him, came up with all the lyrics and did all the vocals. I did some backing vocals, and Chris Pezzano did some backing vocals. But he handled the vocals and most of the lyrics, so unfortunately he's not with us on the call to be able to actually tell people about the actual concepts of the lyrics. But we're not really breaking the mold. It's black metal. We sing about evil and death, and,
all the wonderful things that's going on in this world right now.
We're not trying to take ourselves too seriously. We just enjoy playing really dark, heavy, sinister music.
And
we're too old and look like we're, some kind of badasses or something.
I am so cold, blah, blah,
did you guys do anything differently, this time around? Was there some things that you wanted to, I don't know, did you just do anything differently? Like, were you like, did you want to make it a certain way compared to what you have done in the past or anything like that?
It's a lot of diversity with this album. I mean, you've got your black metal, just straightforward, just brutal, fast, and chaos. And then you have your melodic side of it, and some of it even kind of King Crimson. I could even go to saying. So you have 5 generations of musicians here, putting their thoughts, their ideas in making this. Thorgron and the Bulk, they come up with a lot of the riffs, the main riffing, and the rest of us we added the melodies to go with it instead of playing the same thing all over. I mean, you have 2 guitar players in here, so you want to make it interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think what he's kind of saying is there was a lot of generational influences on this album. You had Scully, who's been playing heavy metal and thrash metal since 1983. Was when you recorded your first album, right?
Yes, it was 1983. That was a Hallows Eve.
And how old are you now, Scully?
I will never tell. This is 1912, I think, on my birthday on Facebook.
So he's from the original old school, and Pravana here is
49, 50 this year.
And I'm 40, and then Volk was 30 whenever he recorded. So there's about a 10-year gap between each one of us. So there was all kinds of different musical influences. We all grew up in different stages of the evolution of heavy metal and black metal or extreme metal. I came up in the death metal era in the early 90s, and Pravana came up in the late 80s and so forth. So all those influences came together, and we feel like they all show and they all create a lot of diversity, like you said, and each song has its own identity, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot of the bands where you put on the album and you hear the first song and it's okay, I've heard your album. Where they all sound like the same patterns of riffs. But I'm not putting anybody down. There's a lot of great bands out there that do have that kind of monotonous sound, and that's what they go for. But we wanted to create something that was more unique and speak to the listener differently from track to track. Another thing we did in the recording process that was a little different, like you asked, is we recorded to a click for the first. We've done a lot of just live recordings in the past because it's been a while since we recorded it now. We actually recorded. We tried to go more professional this time. We created on a grid, the click, and we used a lot of virtual instruments and real choirs and stuff like that. We wanted to create a larger, bigger element in the album, and I feel like we did that.
Hey, a big thank you, man, to Crow Altar Studios. That's Paul Golden. Yeah, we had a good place, man, to make music and then relax and chill and whatever, and go back to making music again. It took a matter of months to get it all done, but yeah, it was a good working environment and good mates, like I say, man, to make music with.
Yeah, it was a great experience. He really created a nice environment for us to be creative and, good friendship. But I think Pravana wanted to mention that another thing that was interesting is we got to have the mastering done by Mick Kinney.
Which, for anyone who knows, he is the owner of the Barracks Studio in California and has an unbelievable amount of different projects, that he has done. Now, going back to the Crow Altar Studios with Paul Golden, he took care of everything with the recording and with the mixing. Now, Mick Henney from the Barracks did all of the mastering for us. And, I mean, we really wanted this album to speak volumes and has a very professional, epic sound to it. And all of us really feel we have achieved that.
Yeah, so it's something we can be very proud of. But a lot of bands now, they're coming out. The production is much better. I love black metal from the very beginning. I was listening to it, and we all were where it sounds like the vocals are coming out of a PVC pipe.
Right.
But we got the music. Yeah, and I've always loved. I love music. Period. Mm-hmm. Except rap.
Yeah.
So the hip hop. They're different streets for different breeds. So each and each his own, right?
Well, you guys said that you wanted a bigger sound, and you definitely achieved it with this album. Stands out among all your works, I think. So what have been some of the early reviews on the pre-released music from it?
We haven't gotten any official reviews so far, but the response from the fans on the internet has been positive. Very.
Yeah, the friends have really liked what we put out there so far, and I hope they continue. That's, again, many gratitudes for having us here tonight so we can push this music out.
Oh,
The web stations are the best, and the college stations are the best for this.
And now, do you guys have any tours and shows coming up this year that you could talk about at all?
We have a couple shows that I don't know if I should even bother mentioning them because they're still up in the air.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing solid. We don't have anything booked at this time currently, but we're currently trying to pursue getting on some bigger fests and things like that, things that are more productive than just playing local shows.
Right. And now, have you guys found a label, or are you still in pursuit of that?
We are still
in pursuit.
There's been some interest. It's kind of complicated with all that, but we'll just say that some folks from the bigger labels have shown interest.
Oh, that's
that's really as far as I can go with it. So it doesn't get even more complicated or confusing. But it's definitely getting some interest.
So when do you guys hope to get this released?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Preferably by the way, but yes, we would like to get it done before the summer, if we can.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be able to get back out there summer of 2019 and do some performing and promote the album.
Mm-hmm.
And
we end up putting it out ourselves. I mean, we're not rock stars, we're not rich or anything, but hey, make a couple copies to take out on the road with us.
Mm-hmm.
If it takes that, labels right now, it's really, although they have interest and they like it, it's that way with a lot of bands. They just, they're just not taking on new bands at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, who's to say that'll get better in the future? Or the label thing will go all the way and artists will be doing the same as, I think that Radiohead does that. They put out their own music on their own website. A lot of bands are doing that. So who's to say what the future is? But
the medium.
continue making music and touring. Yeah, that's where the point is.
We're ready. We'll say that. If a bigger label, takes us on, we're willing to go to work.
And you guys have some merch and stuff out too, right?
Yes.
So tell us about that, where people could get it, what you got going on there.
We're kind of low on some stock. We just sold out of all the hoodies. We got one hoodie left. And we had a pressing done. We're going to get another pressing of those done. We're just doing all the merch independently right now. So So,
yeah, big thank you, my friends out there, man, who purchased all this.
Thank you.
Big thanks. We was able to fix a lot of shit with that.
We're going to be getting another shipment of those in very soon, and we're going to be getting patches. We've got some back patches. Thanks to Bailey, our old bass player actually had those printed. So big shout out to her for doing that. And we're going to get some stickers and more merch. But you can just contact us right through our Facebook page. Currently, Chris Pezzano is doing the handling the merch.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody out there listening is friends with him on Facebook, they can message him directly.
Yeah, that's fine. And if you want to, Jet, you're more than welcome to just add a link to my page when you put this interview up on yours.
All right. And so what are you all looking forwards to with the band for 2019?
You go on
Tour the fucking world.
You can't say it any better than that.
Yep.
I mean, that's the best part about touring, and I know my bandmates, man, they'll agree. The best part of touring is you get out there, you meet the people who love the music, and that's just not with us. It's with all the bands, that we have shared the stage with, and we've shared the stage with some awesome motherfuckers, and hell's to them on that. KOA, Grave Gnosis, Venom, Goat Whore, and man, what's that band? I still love that band, and that we play with at the Riot Room, Nefera. And there was Stonehaven, and was at FTA.
FTA is the Full Terror Assault Festival, is what he's referring to.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great festival we got to play recently.
That was an awesome time.
Back this year. We'll see.
A big thank you to Mark Pickman and his staff. Sean, I can't remember all the guys' names. They pulled us out of the mud at the end of the show, too.
If anybody gets the opportunity out there to have their band play that festival, they need to do it.
Don't go down that back fucking road.
Don't take the back road. Stay on the trails they tell you to stay on. We got stuff on there.
I think they have a site out there maybe now that says Wormreich Hill on it.
We got our RV stuck on the hill.
We got Frau Brucker stuck, man. She's a little VW, man, but she does the job.
So
I'm running all over the campground looking for them. It's actually a pretty big campground. And this is after, we had just got done playing, and I went over to the trailer where we had gotten made off and, put our outfits on and everything. Went back and got some of the stuff we left there while they were, the rest of the guys were still loading the trailer up and getting ready to pull back up to where our campsite was. And I come out, and then the RV is gone, so I was like, okay, so they're just back up there at the campsite. So I walk up there. Nope, not there. After about the third time, then I find out that they had gotten the RV stuck. And it had been a tractor or something like that.
Yeah, it was a tractor.
At festivals, they always have shit to pull people like us out of stupid situations. So
But
it was fun. We had a blast.
Wonderful, and they helped us out. We're ready to do it. We can laugh at it.
And one thing that is kind of funny about it, before the festival even happened, we were asking about how the grounds and all were around the stage to see if, if it was there gravel on the ground or if it was grass or whatever, just so we didn't get stuck. So, as long as we got stuck anyway. But
hey, at least you had a good time.
I'm looking all...
It was marvelous. That whole weekend, yes, it was awesome.
I wasn't there.
So, if people want to learn more about the band, band, then what's the best site to go to? Facebook? Is that where you're going to have like all the links and if you have events and merch and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, yes.
The old guys, so most of our shit is on the Facebook. We're not as good at the Instagrams and the Twitters.
No, we're not tweeter boys.
We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, but we're not as experienced with those mediums. But we're on there. Our bass player, Brad Killingsworth, runs our Twitter page. He's a great guy. We forgot to mention him earlier. He actually did record the album with, and then created some great bass lines. Very old school, mayhem-esque bass work.
Yeah, he's an awesome cat.
Yeah, he's in another band called Mountain Bastard. That makes guitar in. So if anybody wants to check them out, they can find them on social media as well.
All right, so then Facebook is probably the best place to check out Wormreich if you want to pick up merchandise, if you want to see when the album is going to be released, or what events are going down. And guys, thank you for coming on the show, letting us know what's going on with you and the new album. We're going to play a couple of songs from that too. And, all the best to you in 2019. And again, thanks for coming on the show and letting us all know what's going on with y'all.
Many thanks to you, my lady, and everyone at Metal Messiah, and all our friends out there.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
All right.